Hello. Hello. This is Adrienne. Adrienne Obi, Capricorntigress of astrology.com. And I am coming to you with the monthly readings for December. And I'm going to do all 12. Hopefully, I have the energy to get this done. I have not had any sleep. I've been up and it's now almost 8:30 in the morning, but I thought, if I don't do it today, gotta get it done. So let's start with the sign of Aries. Before I do that, I'll just say in the beginning where some of the changes are going to be so that you guys can have an idea ahead of time. But in the month of December, there's going to be a couple of changes, some real big astrological changes occurring. One of them, of course, is the solar eclipse new moon that's happening at the end of December. That's going to be in the sign of Capricorn and I think at 4 degrees of Capricorn. So that's going to affect a lot of people. That's a major solar eclipse. And it's said that this particular new moon solar eclipse will be able to feel the effects of it up to 6 months. So it's pretty major. That'll be on the 26th of December. Also, during the month, Venus is going to be moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius. So that'll be very interesting. Also, Mercury actually makes several moves in December. It goes into Saggy on the 9th of December, and by the 28th, it's in Capricorn. So it's moving pretty quickly. So anyway, I just wanted to go over those things for everyone, just in case, I skim over something. I just want to make sure you guys understand some major movements. And as of tomorrow, Jupiter will be in Capricorn for the first time in 12 years. So we're sitting on some pretty major things. So let me go ahead and get started with the signs, right? So we'll start with, I tell you what, since we're dealing with the month in Sag, let's start at Sag and work our way back. How's that? We'll start at Sag and then we'll go backwards. Sorry, Aries and friends. So we'll do it that way. Okay, so let's start with Sagittarius because this is interesting. It's Sag month and it's only the right thing to do to honor our Sages by going first. And I always say this, but it's true. In Eastern astrology, I'm a double Sag, not a double Capricorn. So it's very interesting when I see the things that I see here. It looks like, right. The sun is going to be in Capricorn until the 21st. So we come into the month with the sun in the first house for Sagittarius. And this is, major. We go into the month with some planets in Sag. And because I was looking earlier and there were some things in Saggy. Wait a minute. I actually know what that is. I think Mercury and Mars at this particular moment are in Scorpio, though. I said Mercury goes through Sag so quickly. I just want to check things just to make sure where we're at. Okay, so yeah, we've got Mercury in Scorpio right now. Okay, Venus and Cap. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to take a good look at that to make sure I knew where everything is. So for the most part during the month, a lot of these planets are going to be hanging out Sagittarius in your second house because there's going to be a pretty huge stellium in the second house by the time the month is over. I mean, we're going to be looking at the sun in the second house, Pluto in the second house, Saturn in the second house, Jupiter in the second house. And on the 26th, the new moon solar eclipse in the second house. So this is a major area. And so what I would like to ask or just warn most Saggies about is to keep a good eye on your money, and you know, where the money's coming in, going out. If you're making more profits than your liabilities. I've been looking at my own finances and feel that I am paying out more than I'm bringing in. All it takes is a few late payments, and I feel like I'm under the gun in my business. And so you might come to that reality as well, where you might have to start cutting things in order to, you know, because Saturn is a restrictor. And even though Jupiter's there in the second house, Saturn is there, and Pluto is there, and the sun is there, and the new moon is there. So it's giving you an opportunity, I think, to look at your finances and what you own and what you possess, and even what talents you have to give in this lifetime, and take a good, solid look at that area of life during this time because it's so vital. And you know, what you find out will be interesting to say the least. Now Mercury and Mars start out in the 12th house because they're in Scorpio. And so for Saggies, you know, there's a lot of hidden motivations going on here, with Mercury thinking and Mars action, sitting in the 12th house. I would take this time um, to strategize. You know, Saggies are a little bit, well, Scorpio's there, right? So Scorpio is a little bit more emotional and intense. Scorpio is very intense. So with it in the 12th house, I'm just picking up that there may be even some unexplained, uh, I want to say psychic, but when you sleep, your unconscious mind is going to give you a lot of the information that you need, especially with Mercury there. So please pay attention to whatever that internal voice, that message, literally the internal voice, Mercury is going to be speaking to you during the month of December until it moves into Sag, because Mercury is going to be moving pretty quickly. And Venus goes into Aquarius on the 20th of December. So that's going to be a major first planet getting into Aquarius. And Aquarius is actually sextile Sagittarius. So when Venus gets into Aquarius, it's going to be a really positive influence, especially in the area of communication. I think a lot of Saggies are going to be feeling that with their communication area. Also, there, you know, some of the planets that have been going on, Neptune down in the fourth house in Pisces, Chiron in the fifth house in Aries. Although it's teetering right there at the between Aries and Pisces now. Uranus in the sixth house in Taurus, still retrograde until January, by the way. And then there's going to be a full moon as of the, I believe that's the 26th, isn't it? Yeah. Full moon as of the 26th will be in Gemini. And that's going to be in your seventh house as partnerships. You know, there's full moon. It can really, I don't want to say arguments might happen. That might not happen. It could just be illuminating your partnerships, maybe your marriage. It could illuminate hidden enemies. So be aware of that, especially with Mars in the 12th house. So, yeah. North Node's in the 8th house in Cancer. I think it's just giving you an opportunity to go deeper emotionally than normal. That's the way I think it's going to play out. That you'll be able to go deeper emotionally, at least while the North Node's in Cancer. You know, it's easing its way into going toward Gemini, which means it's going to be going out of your 8th house and into your 7th house soon. And I think we're down to 7 or 8. Where are we at? 8 degrees. The North Node's at 8 degrees of Cancer. So that's you know, interesting stuff. I think the one thing I want to warn you about is just with Uranus in the sixth house, just getting this vibe like you might have something weird happening with your health. There's also the possibility of something really strange happening in your work. And I just think that between Jupiter in the early degrees of Capricorn and Uranus in the early degrees of Taurus, they'll be trying from the second house in the sixth house. So it's kind of like the work you do might affect the money you make. Or some project to make money might affect the work that you do. Just be aware of that. So anyway, this is my take for you guys, Saggy. I guess overall, when I look at this, it's just, you know, I got my eye on my money and my money on my mind. It's one of those kind of months. You got a lot of emphasis in the second house of money. Please keep your eye on your money and your money on your mind. Okay? Okay. Much love and light to you, Saggies. And, you know, if you haven't already done so, please like, share, and subscribe to our videos and to our channel. And much love and light to you. Okay, okay. So that was Sagittarius. And let's, okay, there we go. I just wanted to make sure I got them done first, which we've done. So that's good to know. And you guys, like I said, I have not been asleep yet. And I'm just going to do these until my voice dies out, pretty much. And then after that, I'm just going to have to go to sleep. There's no fighting that, right? Okay, so next up on the list before me is Capricorn. And, you know, I, being a Capricorn, I'm very honored to do this reading for us Caps. You know, we got a big month coming up, Caps. Big month. In fact, the biggest month of the year. I mean, other than January. But I think this month in particular is really big. And that's because not only will the sun be in Capricorn, but Jupiter will be in Capricorn. And, you know, the funny thing is that Jupiter has not been in Capricorn for 12 years. And so we're going to be experiencing a certain type of luck that we haven't had for 12 years. I don't even know if it's luck so much as I do think it is luck, but it's going to be a vibe that we have not experienced for 12 years. And I think this is very interesting because we got Saturn, the ruler of Capricorn, in Capricorn right now, and also Pluto. And so this is major for Capricorn. Also, the new moon on the 26th is going to be in Capricorn in our first house as well. And it is happening low. In fact, it's going to be in conjunction with Jupiter. I think Jupiter will be at 5 degrees, according to what I've studied. And the new moon will be at 4 degrees. And so will the sun. So it's going to be a very interesting day, the 26th of December, the day right after Christmas, Boxing Day. So be aware of that. I just think that with the sun and Jupiter there, I just feel like over the course of the next few months, most Capricorns are going to find that their joy is starting to return. They're able to feel more expectant, abundant, jovial, upbeat, positive. I just get this sense of expectancy for ourselves, that we can do better. I think with Pluto also being there, it's indicative of the phoenix rising from the ashes. So whatever we've been through as Capricorns, because let's be honest, It has not been an easy year. Whatever we've been through as Capricorns, I believe that the combination of Pluto conjunct Saturn and Jupiter conjunct the sun and moon, I really think we're going to be able to start washing away some of the nasty, vile taste of 2019 and make way for a brighter, better 2020. Because I really believe that 2020 is going to be our year, Capricorn. I mean, we're going to have Jupiter there, Saturn, Pluto. So, yeah, let's gear up for this. And as of the 21st, the sun's going to be in Capricorn too. So, wow, it's beautiful. The one thing I was talking about Mercury and Mars with Sag. For us, this Mercury and Mars is hanging around the 11th house. So that's talking and doing things with friends and groups, associations and organizations. But I'm just thinking with Mercury there and Mars, I would just be careful of getting into possibly verbal disagreements with friends, or maybe different groups or causes or organizations like that, that could possibly happen. I just want you guys to be cautious of that anyway, because Uranus and Taurus is down in the natural fifth house for Capricorn. So it's opposing friends. So a lot of Capricorns may be going through issues with friends. You might find that they're acting, a little not normal. The other thing is that with Uranus in the fifth house, your love life might have been all over the place. And that's not going to stop until January 10th, because Uranus is retrograding in the fifth house. I think then it's not like it's not going to be crazy, but I think it'll make more sense maybe in January than it does now. There is going to be a full moon in Gemini, and that's going to be in the sixth house of work. But I just want to warn Caps now that I have found, at least for myself, because I've got Capricorn rising, right? But Gemini in the sixth house tends toward things like hives and rashes and allergies. So I want you to be really cautious of things like that, like, your health. Because Gemini's respiratory health is usually an issue, and nervousness is restlessness is also a problem. But just finicky eating, just an inability sometimes to eat certain things that you might normally be able to eat, but during that full moon in Gemini, you might find that there are foods for like 2 weeks straight you can't eat, or something like that. Geminis tend to be finicky when it comes to food eating. But as far as work goes, that's, to me, Gemini full moon in the sixth house is a lot of intense writing, like communicating, writing, being on the phone, being on the computer, finishing up projects and writing reports and things of that nature. And I think with Mercury and Mars up high, yeah, I see a lot of writing and report building and communication and things of that nature. The North Node is still in your seventh house, and so you are still being urged to do the things of the North Node. Now, it's slowly making its way down into the area of, the sixth, where it's going to be going into the sixth house. But right now, that emphasis is still on building partnerships and nurturing your partnerships, whoever your significant other is. Okay. Well, this has been my take, you guys. There's some other things I could have talked about, like, Neptune down in the third, but why talk about that? We've talked about it before. I will be back, I'm sure, by mid-month or somewhere before the full moon to discuss where the planets are once again. Just want to send out my love and light to all of the Capricorns out there. And if you guys haven't done so, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to our channel and like and share our videos. And make sure you stop by our website at astrologyalookinside.com and be sure that you subscribe there so that you can get a hold of whatever specials we have. All right. Much love to you, Capricorn. May you have a beautiful Christmas. So up next, we've got the sign of Aquarius. And Aquarius, it's going to be a really interesting month for you guys because this big stellium of Capricornian planets is happening in your 12th house. That is the house of self-undoing, but it's also the house of secrets. And so there could be a great amount of secrets that are being hidden. Yeah, a great deal of hidden secrets. I mean, we're talking Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter and the sun as of the 21st and the new moon. I mean, wow. And then I think we're going to have Venus move into that house, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Venus is there. Venus is in Capricorn. So I keep forgetting that Venus is already in Capricorn as well. So that's a packed 12th house. Venus does go into the first house, Aquarius, on the 20th. But until then, I mean, almost all the emphasis is sitting in the 12th house. So let's talk about that for a second. The 12th house. The 12th house is a very subjective house. It is a house of, subjectivity, like the subconscious mind. It's where we imagine things. It's where we are so clouded by our internal mind, our internal world, our internal belief system that it can really deceive us. Because the 12th house is the house of illusion. And so it's like being in a fun house with mirrors. You think you're going the right way, and then you find, oh no, that's a mirror. That's not the actual path. And that's what the 12th house is like. And you've got so many planets that are hanging out in the 12th house for most of the month. And so you might find that this is something that's occurring. I would suggest that you write everything down. Be a great month to keep a journal. I would, and if you have a recorder where you could record whatever it is you're waking up with, because see, Mercury and Mars are simultaneously in your 10th house. So that is communication, right? And it's Scorpio. So that is very subjective, maybe even metaphysical communication. So I would, keep a notepad or something right by the bed so that when you wake up, if you had a dream, you could write down what that dream was, because I think your subconscious mind will tell you what it wants you to know in your dreams. I really believe that. Most of the planets that are not in Capricorn this month are low in your chart, under the horizon. Again, very subconscious. We've got Neptune in the second, Chiron in the third, Uranus in the fourth house, and there's going to be a full moon in Gemini on the 26th of December. That's going to be in the fifth house. They're all down low under the horizon. The North Node is in the sixth. So really everything is down under the horizon there. But that full moon in the fifth house in Gemini on, I believe that's the 26th of December. So that full moon in Gemini, that's going to affect your love life. That's going to affect love, children, dating, uh, taking chances, gambling. Um, if you're a business owner or want to be, entrepreneurial pursuits is really indicated there. But I think with Mercury and Mars in the 10th house, I think you might really be able to push forward with something like, an entrepreneurial, like opening your own business, that type of thing. You might want to push forward with that. I would just say, with so many planets in the 12th house, that uh, I would maybe put that off until after they're out of the 12th house and they're into the first house in the sign of Aquarius. And I think if you do that, I think you're going to be highly successful in any endeavor that you have once they're in the first house and not the 12th. Okay. Okay, you guys. Well, this has been Adrienne, Capricorntigress of Astrology, a look inside. And if you haven't, take a moment to like and share our videos and subscribe to our channel. And I do accept donations. In order to send a donation, simply visit our page at astrologyalookinside.com. Scroll down, click the donate button. That's simple. You guys, send in all my blessings. Much love and light to you. Bye. So you guys, I meant to do more readings tonight, but as I was sitting here, I realized my leg is starting to cramp up. I unfortunately am going to have to stop at just these first three. When I wake up, I'll come back and start on them again. But this is going to be what I do for now. And, let me go stretch out this leg and go take a muscle relaxer and maybe get some sleep. It's been probably close to 24 hours. So much love, much light, many blessings to all, and I'll be back shortly. Okay, bye now.